I am feeling called to share this. So may this serve whoever needs to hear it. Um, Pushing someone to their breaking point and then shaming them for breaking is emotional abuse. It's not an accident, it is a tactic. They provoke you, uh, they hurt you, and they push you until you react, and then they flip the blame and play the victim. That is manipulation, not a misunderstanding. They will minimize, distort, or deny their actions to make you doubt your perception, and that is considered gaslighting. Why does this tactic work? Because it creates confusion, it creates self-doubt, it creates guilt, emotional exhaustion, so much so that you give up. It creates a loss of credibility where over time it becomes, oh, you're just doing that thing again. You need to control your emotions. You're the one losing it, not me. Can't you see that? Can't you see what's going on? And it's a power imbalance in a relationship, whether that be friendship, family, or spouse, or girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever it may be. Over time, this trains you to stay silent when you need to speak up. It creates fear. You end up tolerating mistreatment, and that spills over into your work environment as well, not just your home environment. You tolerate mistreatment from your family members over time, and you sit back and you just let it be what it is, and then you end up tolerating mistreatment in your working environment where people take advantage of your kindness. It suppresses your emotions where you become numb. Yeah. And you end up questioning your reality. Is this the life that I want to live? Why is everyone taking advantage of me? Why is everyone mistreating me? Do I belong here? What is left for me to do? Is this the life that I want? You end up questioning your reality. And it takes a toll on you physically as well. I know that I ended up staying in bed because I was emotionally exhausted weeks on end. Every weekend I was sleeping, I was tired for years. I missed out on so much because of the emotional abuse and the manipulation and the gaslighting. So what do you do when you experience this? How do you get yourself out of it? And as someone who has recovered my nervous system from being exposed to this sort of narcissistic abuse, I would hate to put like a label on it, but that is what it is. It takes time, but first you have to stop reacting. When you are pushed, you feel defensive, you want to defend your stance, but stop. Don't do that. Observe. Sit back and observe. Stay quiet. Recognize the pattern. Recognize what is being done, what is being said, the loops of excuses that happens just in one setting. Awareness breaks manipulation. If you become aware of what is going on, you can break the manipulation. It's the first line of defense, which is awareness. It restores clarity in the situation. If you stop reacting, you let them speak, you will gain clarity on what is actually happening. Stop defending your actions. So just set a boundary, disengage. It had gotten to the point where I had to put in an earbud and listen to something else while they spoke. to not be sucked back into the loop of them defending themselves and trying to change my perception. Refuse the bait. They will bait you. You know this. They use tactics of you're acting like your mother, or you're not being a good parent, or is this how you want to show our kids what love looks like? Or there's just so many things that bait you in where it's like, how can you say that? That's baiting. Don't fall for the bait. Let them say whatever it is that they need to say to dig themselves into a deeper hole so that you are more aware of their tactic. And just, if you need to, I will not continue this conversation if you speak to me that way and then shut it down and walk away. You need to protect your nervous system. There was a point where I would say that, and I would say, that's enough, I'm not going to be talked to that way, and then I would walk away, and they would follow me, and they would sit down, and they would stare at me until something was said, and I had to, for hours, I had to sit there and stay quiet, because they were baiting me, while they were staring at me, waiting for a reaction, until they finally gave up, and they said, I can't believe this is the relationship that you want to have. You're hurting me. And then they would walk away, and then they would come back, and I would stay quiet. It had gotten to a point where I had to record the conversations, where I have hours of recording on my phone just to play back, to make sure that I am not the one that was crazy, that I was not the one that was saying hurtful things, that I was not the one that was baiting or manipulating or gaslighting, that I was truthful. And I was. But I had to record it, because the amount of manipulation that would happen, of trying to get me to be the bad guy and feel bad for whatever it may be, and that they were the victim. And so I had to record. So if you need to record it. And that was the next tactic, is document, including recording as soon as we were done, and they would leave me alone for a long enough period of time. I would write everything down in a journal, at which point they found and they took, and they ripped pages out as if it erased my memory. So I don't know who needs to hear this, but if this is your situation, those were my tactics. That is how I got out. And then I kicked him out. And it wasn't pretty. It wasn't nice. I had to wait until he got home, and I locked the door to prevent him from coming into the house, since he had already gotten an apartment. And from there, it just went downhill. He took my child for 3 weeks, kept him from me. I had to file a court order to get my child back. In the meantime, he was love bombing my child with all kinds of gifts and karate and ways to show that he was the good parent and I was the bad parent, which never worked. And then wanted everything in the house, which is just materialistic things. It is what it is. And it took a very long time and over money I didn't even have just to get a divorce. And he is still trying to come at me with all sorts of stuff. So I guess what I'm saying is, don't fall for the bait. If you are reactive, that is what they want, and they win. Don't be reactive. Whatever energy you give out, you will get back. It's just universal law. So don't give them anything. Shut it down. Let them dig their own hole. It's not your responsibility to dig a hole for them. it's theirs. Their actions will be mine, and it will hit them square in the face.